I don't know about y'all, but when somebody says the word home, there's a house that comes to mind. It wasn't my parents' house. It wasn't the house that I actually grew up in, but I feel like every good memory I have ties back to that house. It was my grandparents' house, farmhouse, outside of Leesburg, between Leesburg and Wildwood, that my grandfather had started building as a two-room shotgun shack back in the 1930s. Just like he'd grown up in. No electricity, no water, of course, back then. But as he and my grandmother started working the land and having kids, he would add on to the house. And by, maybe a bedroom for a kid that just came along. And what I mean by bedroom is what you and I would really consider a very, very crappy walk-in closet. Really, really small little rooms. My dad was actually born in that house. By the time I came along, Doc Beneville had gotten uppity. He'd got himself a clinic in town in Leesburg, which his clinic looked a little bit like a miniature Motel 6. It was this little strip of rooms, just sitting freestanding, and he had a woman in each room giving birth, and he would run back and forth to the rooms. That was his birthing center. So that's where I was born. But, by the time that I got old enough to know things and remember things, that house had grown. It now had a living room and a den, what used to be the sleeping area where the fireplace was. It was now my grandfather's den where his desk was, that I still have and use today. Used it this morning before I left home. 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, indoor, kitchen with all the modern appliances, gas of course, dining room where we could all gather at the holidays, front porch and back porch, like many cracker houses did, but these were screened. Now that's kind of uppity, Didn't everybody have screens? And my grandmother had something on that back porch that was the envy of all the neighbors. She had an electric wringer washing machine right up on the porch. Now I'm here to tell you, there's nothing on God's green earth that will get an 8-year-old boy's butt beat worse than an electric wringer washing machine. You should have seen what it would do to bananas. Oh, it was something. But that house it was enormous. It was huge. Had to be every bit of 1,400 square feet. Seemed big to me. But it is that place where every good memory I have in my life, it ties back there somehow. It's pictured on the front of the Welcome Home album out there if you get a chance to look at what's on the table. But I think everybody has that place that when you say home, that's the place you think of. This is called This Old House. This old house is still silent. Nobody lives here anymore. It's been a long time since a footstep fell upon these wooden floors. 4 generations have stood right where I stand. The roots of a family growing strong up from this sand. And this old house, once upon a time, was a place where everything I loved had its common time. This old house that I loved so long ago, it is still the place I dream about when I dream dreams of home. All the walls are stained and faded, dust has settled in everywhere, yet everything is still just where it was the last time I was here. Now out in the front yard, near that old oak tree I climbed, there is a for sale sign that tells my heart this home's no longer mine. And this old house, once upon a time, was a place where everything I loved had its common time. still hear their voices though they seem so far away. I still see their faces